like, we eat with our eyes first. So if it looks good, then we trick our mind into thinking that it's going to taste good. Because I'm still working on flavor profiles and trying to figure all that stuff out. But if it looks bad, you're less inclined to enjoy the meal. You know what I mean? Let me see if I have something else here. Actually, I can show you what the ribs look like. So like, here's what they look like after I took them out of the water bath and after I seared them. So when they come out of the water bath, they actually look pretty gnarly. Like, oh, can I rotate this? Like, it looks really, how do I say, unappetizing. It's gray meat, it looks like. And that's the one downside with sous vide cooking versus traditional cooking. When you cook sous vide, the meat that comes out is very gray because it's just boiled meat, but it's so tender, so juicy. Like, the fat cap on these ribs rendered amazingly. So then you just toss it into a pan and you just like sear it for maybe 30 seconds on each side, and you get this nice golden caramelized color, and it helps also render the fat a little bit more. Actually, if you want to see what it looked like in the bags before I cooked it, so that's what how I would do sous vide stuff. You take the prepped meat, I threw it into these bags, I vacuum sealed them. I also added some seasonings inside so that as it cooks, that flavor just kind of imparts into the meat. You know, because when you're cooking sous vide, the meat releases a lot of moisture from inside itself, but it's in a bag, so that moisture doesn't go anywhere. That liquid. Whereas when you're doing traditional cooking on the stove or in an oven, all that meat kind of just, or sorry, not the meat, the moisture evaporates, and then you have to be very careful because then you could dry out your meat by overcooking it. Whereas with sous vide, I never have that worry because it's still soaking in that moisture, in its juices, so it all imparts that flavor back into the meat. You don't lose anything. The only downside is, it is a long time to cook. So like ribs can take 16 hours to cook. A steak, which you can normally cook on the stove in maybe 5-10 minutes tops, would take an hour in the sous vide. But that said, you can't argue with the results. Let me see if I have anything else here that might be of interest. Oh, one thing I really love. Sorry, I know this stream was supposed to be just about the roast pasta, and I'm getting distracted with all these other foods. But one thing I really, really enjoy cooking sous vide is this pork belly. Like, pork belly in sous vide style is just amazing. Let me see if I have this video going. Oh, whoops. Now we'll jump back to that. Like, look at that glistening oils coming off of that pork belly. Like, pork belly is just so amazing. I always have some pork belly in my freezer ready to drop into the water whenever. The only bad thing about this one, I think, is it takes about 12 hours to cook this style. And then you have to also salt it and leave it sit in the fridge overnight so that top dries out, so you get that nice crispy skin. So it's almost like a 24-hour cook in order to get pork belly. But afterwards, when you cut it and you slice it, it's just so amazing, and it retains all the moisture and the juice in it. But yeah, that's my cooking spiel for the day about roast pasta. Like, did anyone have any questions or anything you wanted to ask about? Maybe about the process or flavors. Oops. So yeah, here's a better picture view of it. So let me see if I can full screen this. Is the video of me eating it? No. I was tempted to, but I want to wait till I hit my